I'm a believer that there's reasons behind everything. There's the reasons why we succeed. There's reasons why we go through struggles, go through challenges. And the timing of that is everything. So, I don't have proof why that happened to Adam, but what he's doing right now, I've got to know that there's a reason behind it and what he's, how it's impacted his life and how he's impacting the world. And it made me think back to one of the biggest transitions that I made in my life. I've talked about this numerous times in different groups, client groups that I've coached in and worked, but I don't think I've ever talked about it on the podcast. So I wanted to bring it up because this was really the biggest lesson that I learned, how there's reasons for everything and timing is everything in this world. So it was March of 2017. And at this point, I was almost 10 years in my career as a personal trainer, as a strength coach, but really I was managing a club. I had a team of like 10 people that worked for me at this spot. And this was a kind of very textbook growth trend period that you see from a lot of people. I went from just getting in the door to, personal trainer, to building a book, to managing a club, seeing growth, so on and so forth, hit the $1 million mark, all those good things that we do. So everything on paper is like, yeah, this was what I found was going to be my life. I had ideas and dreams of partnership and ownership at the spot that I was at, but it's slowly over the past couple of years before this mark when it started to really dwindle. My stress level was at the most insane high. It was a very toxic, very abusive situation that I was in. Personally, it was, and in many ways I blame myself for a lot of things. I was in that mode of just like hard work pays off, just put your head down. Doesn't matter how you feel about these things. Like you've gone this far, you've put this much energy and work in, you might like keep going, like you'll get out of it. And it came to this point in March at this 2017 when it was the first time I was really thinking in my head, like, I don't know if this is where I'm supposed to be. And I was kind of at it was a loss. Like it was a moment of complete, loss where I was like, I thought for years beforehand, like, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm, planting my flag. And this is where my foundation is. This is where I'm going to raise a family, like so on and so forth. Now to have these feelings like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? And am I supposed to stay here? Do I need to do something else? Like that was a tough thing for me. But kind of in my tendency in that fashion at that moment for a week there, I was like, I just put it off. But then there was a Saturday in March of 2017 when things just blew up. I had a terrible week. I didn't sleep, and I would usually go in early to the gym before it opened on Saturday. It was kind of my one time to really get a good workout in because I just worked for a couple hours afterwards on Saturday and then, could go home and get a little bit of a reprieve before the craziness of Sunday night into Monday and the whole cycle started again. So usually it was a good kind of workout for me. This morning, like everything felt off, like everything felt bad. And as I said, I was at a loss. And I was taking a shower and I was just about to get going and tears were just welling up in my eyes. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So at that moment, I knelt down and I prayed and I was like, what do I need to do? Like, I need a sign of what I need to do. And you've probably been there before. It's like, I don't need a subtle sign. I don't need some like look within sign. Like I was pissed. I'm like, I need like a real sign of what I want to do. Do I need to stay? Do I need to leave? Like, just give me this sign. And I left that, put my clothes on, started going to work and went about my day. No joke, like 2 or 3 hours later, I got a message from Facebook from a gentleman named Chris. And he was from Santa Monica. And he said, hey, I found you from this website. We were, kettlebell instructors on the same site through Strong First. And he said, I'm moving actually to your area and I'm opening up a small kettlebell studio. And I'd love to just chat with you about the area if you think it's a good idea and just kind of love to pick your brain. Would you be open to having a conversation? And one thing I left out of the story is this was always something that I wanted to do and build is like, could I build a specific studio, just for kettlebell training, something that I really love to do. And now all of a sudden I get a message from a guy who's moving to the exact area that I want to go into and build the space and build a studio. So I started cracking up and I was like, that's That's an interesting sign. I called my girlfriend at the time. I'm like, babe, you'll have no idea what just happened. And she's like, well, give him a call, like, see what's up. And we chatted. It was amazing. We like chatted for like 45 minutes to an hour. And, as many things do, like it was still took some time for me to move off. Like I had some false promises that were given to me. So I was like, all right, I'm going to stick it out for a bit. Later that year in December, going into January of 2018, I knew I was leaving. I, remembered that this guy was opening this space close to me. So I decided to go up, asked if he wanted to help. And then that was the next, years of my life where I built an amazing business, with Chris and the team over there. And it was absolutely incredible.